Hello, beautiful and handsome bakers. Welcome to the Sugar Vixen Baking Channel. Today we have another delicious celebrity recipe today that we're going to be baking up, and this one is by Jennifer Gardner. She is a philanthropist and a well-known actress, and she was in the movie 13 Going on 30 and then also Alias. So this is gonna be fun. So the name of this recipe is Anytime Cake, and I guess it's kind of like an old school recipe that's called olive oil cake. I've never made it before, but we're going to be in for a treat today because today I'm making it, all right? So I'm gonna make it in a Bundt pan. And I already greased and floured that Bundt pan, but they said you can make it in a spring form pan. I believe those are the ones with like the little clippies on the side and you unclip it, but I didn't have one of those. So we're just gonna make it in an old-fashioned Bundt pan, and hopefully it turns out okay and it's able to actually get out of this Bundt pan. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna go ahead and do is we are going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and on the clock it said 11:11, so that lets us know it's our lucky day. All right, so in a medium bowl we are going to crack in 3 eggs, and use good olive oil, it says in the recipe, and 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mix that together until it's well combined. One and 1/4 cup of milk. We are then going to add in 2/3 cup of lemon juice. And so that was about, I say 6 lemons. And then we're going to add in lemon zest from 2 large lemons. So I just, grated that or zested it. And then a teaspoon of orange zest. And this recipe calls for Amaro del Capo, and that is a alcohol or a liquor, which I wasn't, I don't really drink, so I'm like, I don't want to buy liquor. So I'm going to use vanilla extract instead. And so for the liquor, it asks for 1 tablespoon, and then for the vanilla extract is 1 teaspoon. So let me put the 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and then I'll add in 1 teaspoon of the extract to make it even. And I Googled that was the closest ingredient that I could add in exchange for the Amaro del Capo. But if you want to add in Amaro del Capo, go ahead. Okay, let's go ahead and let's mix it together. Oh, shoot. Okay, let's mix it on low because it's kind of like splashing all over the place. All right. Okay, and so in a separate large bowl, I'm gonna go ahead and mix the dry ingredients. So this is 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, and here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to make a well. It says, so combine these ingredients, make a well in between the middle. So the wet ingredients into the dry. So let me just mix it real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour the wet ingredients like so. Okay. Into the dry. I'm just going to gently mix it, not a lot, just to incorporate it per the recipe. Ooh, and I just popped some ingredients onto my dress. So maybe you shouldn't do that, especially if you have somewhere to go. Okay, so I'm gonna take my spatula and I'm just gonna kind of, and the recipe, it also says it's okay for the batter to have a few lumps. Okay, so now I can see why. And it smells very fruity, like very citrusy. Okay, so now it's time for the big finale. I'm gonna pour it in our prepared butt pan. Okay, I'm just kind of swirl it around so it could, you know, be even. But you know what? This batter is pretty thin. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna take 1/4 cup of raw sugar and we're gonna sprinkle it on to the top of our batter before we bake it. All right, now it's time to put it in the oven, in our preheated oven, so don't forget to do that. The recipe calls us to bake this for 50 minutes to 1 hour. I'm gonna set my clock, my timer for 50 minutes, and I'm gonna check on it, and if it's not baked, then I'll add another 10 minutes to that. So let's keep our fingers crossed. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll leave this recipe in our Patreon. Thank you.